Well, I got everything dry and cooled off, so we can go ahead and glaze that middle section. Now this one is going to be mostly light green on top, dark pumpkin color in the middle, and then dark green on the bottom. So there's no light pumpkin color on this section. Let's talk about the bottom section. We'll start over on the left-hand side. Some of these areas that I have marked in are dark. We need to put in the yellows first so we don't lose those. This one's not completely yellow, so there's some green in that one. There's one over here. So we got some lights that we need to put in first, just like we did with the ones up there. I'm going to pick up my 6 again. Make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to start, mix up some more water into my colors. Start with my light green, which is going, or yeah, it is the lighter green. Now when I drew the design on, I put some of these lines in so you can kind of see where the colors are separated. Alright, now I'm going to go into the dark green. Which is right down here at the bottom. Those lines are nice to have, but you know, they're not gospel, so that's the fun part about painting something like this. It doesn't have to be exact. Glancing at my photograph as we go. And anytime I load my brush, I bring it to a point, make sure I don't have any drips. Watercolor, you have to control your water. You don't want it to drip onto your paper or into the area that you've just painted, because it's just going to bloom. And then you've got a mess. I'm not really blending these colors together, I'm just bringing them up close to each other at this point. Reloading as I need to. Blending that in from this side over. So by having that extra water in here really helped quite a bit, because it just blended perfectly together. There we go. So there is a highlight right in here. Really want to add some more water to that. It's picking up some of that color so it doesn't deposit it quite so yellow. So we've got a highlight over there. Just a tad of a highlight right back in here. And there's a green mark that's going to go through there. Now these are wet on dry, so you don't need to be adding any water to your brush. Now, I did go ahead and put some more yellow on there and dried it right away. It still has a green tinge to it, but it'll be alright, because there's green all the way around that. So, let's do the same thing. We're going to split this up into thirds. The majority of this side is green, just a little bit of pumpkin color. But this side is going to be a little darker on top and a whole lot darker down below. So we're going to split it right about here. And of course the first thing we need to do is glaze. So right in this corner over here is the dark orange, so we'll put that in. Go around that highlight. And there is a little bit of dark orange right in this area. Kind of connected there. And then some right in this area as well. Boy, it's just drying out already. Move my photograph so I can see it just a little bit better. And then right in here is a nice dark area. Clean my brush, and the areas around that I just applied is basically the lighter pumpkin, so we'll fill that in. Got one green up in here. And these kind of overlap each other. This is green here. And then there's a green that comes right down this outside line. And then there's another green right here. And again, like I said, this is our first glaze, so sure everything's nice and soft. And while I'm thinking about it, because I want this to be nice and dark here, I'll fill in this one. And it will dry before we get to it. Now down here this is nice and dark, so we're just going to go over it a couple of times. And that was wet on dry right there, because I want that to be nice and dark. And the dark color is going to be in this back corner, so we'll start there. Let the water do its thing for you. This comes down pretty far in here. And then right in there, making up some more color real quick. There we go. Right in here, we're going to need some more of that lighter color green. And then on this side is green. It comes out pretty far there. This comes right up to the edge of the squash, pumpkin squash. Which is right in here. And then there is some pumpkin color right in here. And you got a little bit down in here. Adding a little bit of water to my dried out paint here. And then down in here is a little bit darker too. So as it goes down on this gourd, it gets darker. So just giving this side a little bit of area to dry into. So yeah, this entire area right in here is all going to be the dark pumpkin color. And I did mix up some more paint because I was running out. And we're going to go around our greens, and this comes all the way up here. That's what some of those lines are all about that I left on the design. This is the color that's kind of sitting this down, but we'll put some shadows on here underneath all the items so it doesn't look like they're just floating. Okay, now soften these outside edges so that they don't create a hard line. Really don't want to putz with it too much. Add a little bit more light pumpkin color in this area. Watch your edges and make sure they don't dry in a harsh line. Softening everything in.